What's up everybody? This video, you guys requested a video talking about like what my projections for the next Hall of Heroes. We're not ready for the next Hall of Heroes yet. It's still, we got a couple, I think we have like a week and a half or 2 weeks before the next Hall of Heroes. But I guess sure we could talk about it. And then I think we have like a month before the next balance patch should hit. So we could talk about some monsters that need buffs too. I know we're doing the Fire Harpy. Element Advantage is a myth. We're doing the Fire Harpy Secret Dungeon with all wind monsters. These things happen, guys. These things happen. But anyway, let's talk about both monsters that need buffs, or that monster proposed buffs to monsters. And let's talk about this secret dungeon. Okay, so let's first off we gotta get a nice color. Not that one. That's way too big. That's what she said. That's not what she said though. I'm lying. That's not what she said. But anyway, let's find a good color. Let's do hot pink. Yeah. So let's talk about Hall of Heroes. The next Hall of Heroes. Okay. Also, before I get to that, remember, April should be the next Choose Your Own Hall of Heroes. So the Hall of Heroes that we have in April should be, they do for the anniversary, they do like Choose Your Own Hall of Heroes. So they'll choose 5 different monsters of different elements, and you get to pick which one you want the most, and then you can just farm that Hall of Heroes, which is pretty nice. It gives you an opportunity maybe for newer players to get something that they have not gotten, that they didn't have the opportunity to get before. So that's pretty cool. So April, but it's not April yet. But we got a couple months for April. Anyway, next Hall of Heroes, next Hall of Heroes, which should be in like a week and a half to 2 weeks, I believe, from the time that I'm recording this, is going to be a light one. Although I think they switched it up. I think they just switched up once and didn't do it in order. So you never know, but I think they did do it once, where like they usually do it in order. I think once they didn't do it. Anyway, let's see what it can't possibly be. Can't be Light Succubus, that was already a Hall of Heroes. Can't be the Light Sylph, that was already a Hall of Heroes. Can't be, what else? Light Ninja or Light Pirate. No Ninja, no Pirate, already Hall of Heroes. Light Death Knight, Light Puree, already Hall of Heroes. Light Brownie, Light Undyne, Light Assassin. Light Brownie, Light Undyne. Light Brownie was a good... Remember, guys, Light Brownie was not a bad one. And Light Assassin. Ha 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 ha. Okay. Also, I don't think they actually said it, but I know that generally they don't do things with 3-star counterparts, so no Iona. And I think I messed this up on my last one. And no Huadam. Huadam is OP anyway. I don't think we were going to see a Huadam anyway. Also, the last 2 were the Mermaid. I don't think the... Well, let's give this a... I don't think we would even see Light Mermaid Hall of Heroes anyway. I mean, we could have, but... Death Knight, which doesn't even matter because the Light Death Knight was already a thing. But the Fire one was the Death Knight. Magic Knight, we are not going to see... There's no way we see... Prove me wrong, come to us, give everyone an iris! That would be ridiculous, that would be OP. That would be broken, right? That would cause some, like, chaos in the community. But since we had the Wind Magic Knight, we're not going to see... she's too strong. She's too strong. Plus the Wind Magic Knight was already, and then there's, let me put these both on one layer, and then this guy, we had the dark one recently, so I don't think we'll see him. We could, but I don't think we'll see him. Who is the stronger of the like, I don't think we'll see Tableau, right? He's way too strong. This guy's way too strong. I don't think we'll see him. Who else is really strong? He's such a big part of the meta. I really don't think we'll see him. You never know. They could throw a curveball. They did with Gemini, right? They did it with Gemini. They gave us a really good monster. I don't think we'll see him. I don't know if we'll see these guys, honestly. I think Behail's pretty strong, too. She's a really strong monster. We could see her. We could see... 3-star counterparts, right? 3-star unwritten rule, but 3-star counterparts. Could we maybe see a Light Neostone Fighter or Neostone Agent or Phantom Thief? I think this guy is so underwhelming. I think she's pretty strong too. Some of these monsters though, I feel like she's of these monsters. I have a lot of them. I feel like we're probably not going to see him. We're probably not going to see her. Because they're just really strong. We're probably not going to see him. Some of these, like, Tosi, I feel like they might even give us Tosi. I feel like they might even give us Tosi. I feel like they might even give us one of those. Like, those monsters would be cool to get, right? Like, Kung Fu Girl's pretty strong, too. Like, Kung Fu Girl's pretty good for raids. I mean, they would give us basically a really nice R5 monster if we got the Light Kung Fu Girl, but I probably don't think we're going to get those. Honestly, I feel like we're going to get, like, this Light Phantom Thief, Light Neostone Agent, maybe we'll get a Rakshasa. No 3-star counterparts for you. Do we maybe get the Light Joker? That would be interesting. I don't have him yet. I mean, clearly, as you can see. But we don't have a whole lot of options, really. We don't have a whole lot of options. I feel like we're going to get one of... Oh, this guy, they're definitely not giving us that. He's way too strong. But I think, I mean, like, the options are kind of limited for this next Light Hall of Heroes. We could get one invincibility monster. The one monster that gives you invincibility. And Endure, she gives Endure too. She might be a decent combo with Mo Long for Guild Wars. Invincible, and then he does damage to himself, but it doesn't even matter. She could be. Could possibly be. But I don't see a lot of options. Like, they might even give us something not that terrible. Just based on the fact that we don't... You know they're just going to give us a Light Phantom Thief. They're going to be like, ah, you guys got a Light Phantom Thief. Oh, Light Phantom Thief. Huh. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. So let's go, let's get out of here. Let's get out of here. Let's go see. Let's go see some monsters that we think might need buffs. Because this is the second part of the video. What do you guys think is the next haul here is going to be? Let's go see some monsters that need buffs. I mean, clearly, Light Phantom Thief needs buffs. I think that the monster balancing patch shouldn't happen until, like, I think the end of February. Based on, or at least we're going to get, towards the end of February, we're probably going to get information on it. Because I think it's towards the end of November is when we got information on the last one. So 3 months should be, if they keep, I mean, like, if they decide to still continue with the 3 months, then it'll be the end of February that we'll get some information on it. If my math is correct. Maybe my math is wrong. I don't know. Anyway, what do I think maybe needs a buff? Does Daphnis get a buff? Does Daphnis... You know everyone wants Daphnis to get a buff, right? You know everyone wants... Or a different... I mean, if a different leader skill, speed lead would be phenomenal. Like, you would see him being used. People like, Daphnis, he's a thing now. Who else? I think people still want Juno to be buffed. Although Juno, I see people... I don't see her being used in RTA, but people say that they use her in RTA. But I never actually see the people that say that they use her in RTA sometimes. I never actually see that happen. I don't know. The Water Monkey, I think Water Monkey is actually doing pretty good right now, nowadays. Let's go over some fire monsters though. It's fire monsters that I think could use... I mean... Okay. Complain about Rocky. Hold on. I think the Paladins. Definitely... Paladin time. I mean, like, I would hope Paladin time, right? I would hope Paladins get buff. Zyros definitely needs a buff. No? Okay. I wonder if we're going to see anything more for, like... Lexi doesn't seem like anyone's using her, so maybe she could use a buff. Maybe some of those... I guess the Gibraltar people use him for Necropolis anyway, so he probably won't get a buff. This guy seems kind of like no one is ever using him. I wonder if they'll do something to him. I wonder if they'll do something to... Who? I mean, you never know. Like, because every time it's like they do something out of left field. They're like, we're going to buff this random monster. Like, okay, I was not expecting that random monster to get buffed. I think that Wind Jack-o'-lantern kind of... But then again, you know what? I really haven't built him, so I really have no place to say. But I feel like could use a buff. I know a lot of people want Helena to get buffed. I don't know if they will, but I know that that's at least what people that have Helena. Some people like her, you know. Some people like her, but some people say she needs a buff. I personally don't have her, so I can't say too much. Can't say too much about her. Who else? Who else do I think might need a buff? Like, I feel like Ajir could, like, some of them, like the fire and water ones don't ever really get used. The wind one is really nice though. This AoE, like, he was just buffed out of nowhere one time, and he used to have an AoE that, like, with 100% crit rate. And he was buffed, and it's AoE that increases attack speed, increases attack power, recovers HP. Like, it'd be cool if they did something more with these, because this just steals beneficial effects, right? Not as crazy as that the wind one. This just does damage, right? There's a lot of other things that do that. So I don't think that that's really too crazy, amazing OP. Like, who else maybe could use a buff? I feel like some of these, like this guy, these guys seem like they're not really ever used. Dark Phantom Thief really isn't used much. Like, these two are damaged. Like, they could Phantom Thief buff. They've done it before. I just don't see Phantom Thieves being used that much. You know what I mean? I wonder if they'll buff, like, maybe... I mean, some of these are pretty good. Honestly, I see a lot of people using... A lot of high-level players using Julie. Luna's really good. I like Sophia, actually. But I think maybe they could use buffs. This guy... watch him do ignore defense. Watch they buff him. They're like, oh, ignore defense, AoE, ignore defense, third skill. He doesn't revive anymore. People are like, oh, glad I built that one. Glad I built that one. New meta monster. Nah, I don't think they're gonna do anything with it. I wonder if they'll buff Liesel. I built this guy recently. That's why I'm curious. I'm like, I built this guy recently. He's okay, but not really meta relevant. You know what I mean? Although, I mean, this could take out. It's a multi-hit. He's got some multi-hits there. Maybe I'll try him in Necropolis. I really haven't tried him too much recently. But I wonder who else. Who else do I think? Honestly, I feel like Paladins maybe. I feel like maybe it's time for Paladins. Make Paladins great again. 2018. What kind of windy monsters need buffs? Need buffs? Could get buffs. Paladins. I feel like it's time for the Paladins. This guy. I mean, this guy... No one really uses the fire one, right? But I think the fire one is still good for Necro. I feel like the fire one is not a terrible unit. This guy does not excite me. That's why I never built him. I never built him, so maybe I don't have room to talk, but... What are the monsters? I wonder if she'll get... Nah, she won't get changed. She's fusion. She won't get changed. They won't change her. They won't do it. Countess won't do it. Maybe some light dark monsters. That would be cool to see some light dark monsters get. Maybe some light nat 5s get changed. Some dark nat 5s get changed. Some people, the people with the light dark chickens, they seem to complain that the light dark chickens aren't anything too special. This guy's attack, he removes beneficial effects and prevents from receiving beneficial effects for one turn, so that's not bad. But they just complain about his that she's just not usable that much. The defense seems weird with the skills that he has. It just seems weird. And this can't be revived. Right, but the thing is, like there's like the water Anubis. He does it with his passive, right? Can't be revived with his passive. The dark Amazon does 2 different skills that can't be revived. So it'd be nice if it was like at least his passive or something. And then these are like resistance. But if you're gonna do nuke, and this is a dungeon leader skill for a PvP monster, right? Seems a little odd, I guess. I know some people. I know everyone that's got this dark dragon wants him to get buffed. Where's this dark dragon? Maybe we'll see a dark dragon buff. I mean, like, I don't know. I see some people with him. They want him to get buffed. Blocks beneficial effects. For certain defenses, he's actually used, or he'd be actually pretty good. So, for certain like rush hour defenses, I mean, blocks beneficial effects wouldn't be bad. Same thing with a light chicken. So I think people that have those, I think they could be missing out on. Maybe a lot of people that have those probably aren't like rushing G3 in arena at rush hour, right? I know that some people are kind of underwhelmed by him. This dark dragon. Who else could get buffed? I don't think they're gonna buff. I mean, see, the thing is, with a few of these light dark monsters, some of them were Hall of Heroes. So, like, the ones that probably need buffs were, like, Hall of Heroes monsters. So, do they buff? This guy could use a buff. I got 2 of him. I mean, lucky light dark lightning, got 2 of him. Like, I didn't feed them, right? I didn't feed either of them, because I'm like, I'm never going to pull. I mean, you could still pull more. But I'm like, I'm never going to pull more of him. I just didn't build him. I'm like, he's for Necro. He's like a poor man's wind monkey. So I was like, do I really build him? He's like, compared to the other ones, compared to the other light dark monsters, I don't know if he's really that crazy OP. This dark jack-o'-lantern, really nothing too exciting compared to the other things that they have, though. Like, there's a lot of good dark monsters. I wonder, here's another thing. Let's go look at some of these light monsters. Again, let's look at some of these light monsters. The ones that I was saying could be Hall of Heroes monsters. Like, she's nowhere near her sister's amazing, right? Her sister's great. She's really does not have that same OP-ness. But there's already, like, they already gave it to us for Hall of Heroes, so is she really going to get a buff? I doubt it. I doubt it. The Light Lich was very underwhelming. He got a buff. He was not that crazy before. It's similar. He was similar. He got a buff. He was underwhelming before. He's better now. So, you know what would be nice is for her to get buff. Chris. I have her on my Asia account. I think she could. She's like a 3-star. Like, the Dark One at least ignores defense, could do a ton of damage. She's at least like a 3-star. She could use a buff too. I know some people, like a lot of people want Jin to get buffed. He still has a crazy leader skill, especially with Kabila, right? I think he's less likely to get a buff, in my opinion, because of that crazy leader skill. He'd be too relevant if he was any stronger. He would just be used a lot. What else? I think it's like some things could use, like he could use like maybe a little bit extra on his 3rd skill. I don't think he's bad. I think he could use maybe some extra on his 3rd skill. I wonder. I think I hit this guy. Oh. Arena defense leader skill. Invincible. I mean, he could be a good combo. Like I said, he could be a good combo with like Molong, right? But this arrest, I just don't get excited about that at all. I don't know. I wish he had like a better second. I feel if they had some better second skills, maybe like him and the water one. I just don't like their second skills for some reason. Am I the only one? Probably. This girl, she could be a good combo with, and we did talk about the Light Dark Nat 4s. She could be a good combo with Molong, right? Invincible. And Endure. The cool thing about Endure is you could put that on like Ramagos and Trevor and have the enemies go to town, hitting them, doing like massive nuke damage, and then have them with like 1 HP, right? Ramagos with 1 HP is very deadly. Trevor with 1 HP is very deadly. So she can combo with some monsters. But like, do you use that over other things? Maybe not. I don't know. I have her. I've used her with Megan and Katarina in Guild Wars. So that's another thing you could use her with, right? Invincible and then Megan. Like, leader skill, attack power, Invincible plus Megan, but use Kabezanuk for that anyway. So Kabezanuk's just an easier to get option for that. Chloe, I feel like Chloe's just better. And she's a light dark, she's the light nat 4, so. I feel like, I mean, there's, invincibility isn't bad, but she's got a decent second skill, right? Removes harmful effects, fills up the allies' attack bar, right? 4 turns before cooldown reduction. I think it's, is that 2 turns? I think it might be 2 turns, which is pretty crazy. So it's not bad, but anyway. I don't know, I could see some, I don't think they're gonna really buff many 3-stars, but I could see some, maybe we'll see the Paladin. I think and feel like we might get a Paladin buff. I hope we get a Paladin buff. It would be cool to use some more. And then aside from that, hopefully we see some of the monsters. I mean, I just hope that they take into consideration the monsters that people want to see buffed, like as a whole in the community. Because I think there's like a lot of people that like, yeah, some monsters can be used in certain situations, but I feel like the more rare monsters should be a little bit better overall, right? Could be usable in more places. than just like a niche monster for this thing or that thing. So I hope that people, I know you guys are gonna like, please come to us, buff this monster in the comments. I know you guys are gonna say it, but hopefully we see some fun buffs. I'm sure I missed some, guys. I know you're gonna be like, baby, you missed this monster. This monster doesn't. He needs a buff. That monster needs a buff. Maybe they'll finally switch this guy to attack type. No? Okay. Is this still no? Okay. Okay, no attack type. But yeah. Alright, guys. Anyway, that's it for this one. I know it was requested. It was requested by a handful of people that I do a video talking about like monster buffs or the next monster buffs balancing patch thing coming out. Whenever it comes out, and then the Hall of Heroes, like potential monsters for Hall of Heroes. So anyway, let me know what you think in the comments below, and I'll see you guys as always